Hi everyone and welcome to this week's self-care campaign. My name is Ellen Schilling and I'm so delighted and grateful for you for joining me on the course of the next number of weeks up until Easter, where each week I'm going to be sharing with you hints and tips, meditations, resources, things that are going to help you along your self-care journey. This idea first came to me a number of years ago when I was walking to work and I heard Lent was on the radio and they were talking about Pancake Tuesday, what are you giving up? And like all of these memories of these trocar boxes and this Catholic guilt that I have to give up something for Lent came into my mind. I went, oh, here we go again. And I thought, you know what, if life is hard enough at times that if we don't have to be giving up yet another thing. So I thought, you know what, instead of giving up something, why don't I take up something that's going to be good for me? And I'm big into self-care and big into telling people, especially women, I think we have an awful tendency to look after everybody else except ourselves. So I was talking a lot about it. I thought, oh God, wouldn't it be great to take up some self care myself, like even for 10 minutes every single day. I knew that I was kind of burnt out at the time and I was pushing myself too hard at work. So I created a campaign and it was great for the first year. We had about 100 people doing it, and then each year, this is the third year now, so last year there was 300 people signed up and now I think there's close to 400 people. So I'm so happy that this is really growing and I'm hoping that it becomes a self-care revolution as such. One thing to note, what behind me you might see on the lovely backboard is the hashtag. The hashtag is take up, take care, and I have to credit my friend Brecky. I've kind of written that there. I don't know if you can see it, for coming up with the hashtag. So thank you, Becky. So this video is just to give you a bit of information on what self-care is all about, what you can do to get started, and then I'm sharing some free resources for you underneath as well. So what is self-care? You might have seen the video that I recorded last year, the one of two other videos that I recorded, and I can't look at that video without cringing, which will probably be the same with this video. So hopefully it's a bit better. I'm getting the hang of these things anyway. So self-care, what is it all about and why would we do it? Well, I think really, isn't it, in Irish society that we're told that you're either somebody who works for other people and helps other people or you're selfish, and it's one or the other. And a lot of people that I say to my clients say, well, I can't look after myself because isn't that selfish? And I want to know that it's actually a third option. There's a soulful option. There's an option of looking after yourself. And I used the analogy of a cup before. You might have seen that in the video. And the whole idea being that if the cup is you and the water in it is your capacity for patience, compassion, understanding, life, love, happiness, and joy. Well, if your cup is empty, you're going to become frazzled, you're going to become irritable, you're going to have very little patience for the people around you. But the more that you fill up your cup, the more you're going to have all of those things in your life. So doesn't it make sense to fill up your cup first and then you can bring that to everything in your life? So how can that be selfish? Because you're doing it in order to be in a better place for the people and the situations in your life. So it's a good thing. And it's a thing that sometimes I think us women find it hard to get our head around. But really, when you think of it, it's a no-brainer. It is something that is so vitally important, because if we're tired, if our cup is empty, we are going to be tired and we're not going to be the best version of ourselves. We're not going to be the best version of ourselves in work, at home, in our relationships, with our children, with our families. We're going to be kind of dragging ourselves around, exhausted, irritable, tired, all those things that I've mentioned before. But when you think of it, when you're in a good space, doesn't everything flow a little bit better? And my invitation to you is just 10 minutes a day. So why is it 10 minutes? Well, of course, you can have more than 10 minutes if you want. You can do half an hour every single day. But I always say 10 minutes because that's achievable. It's doable. And if you said half an hour every day, you might do it for the first week. Think you're great, and you would be, absolutely. But it might not be sustainable over the course of the 6 or 7 weeks that we're going to be working together. So if we say 10 minutes and you do more than 10 minutes, fantastic. But if you just do the 10 minutes on days where you're busy or lots of things are going on, or you simply forget, you can get those 10 minutes in. It makes it a little bit easier to feel good about yourself and more difficult to feel more challenged or more upset with yourself if you don't complete it. What are self-care practices? It's so different for each person. Some people I talk to, yoga is the biggest and best thing for them. For other people, they absolutely can't stand it. And for me, mindfulness meditation is always a huge thing. For other people, that's really not where they're at as well. So the list is so individual for each person, and it's so important that we come up with a list that we feel inspired by. We feel like, oh yeah, I love those things. So underneath here, there is a link to a PDF that I've created for you to start writing your self-care list. And I want you to think about things that really bring you joy. So it could be my self-care is taking the time to put on my body lotion after a shower. My self-care is a lovely bath at the end of the week. My self-care is going out and enjoying nature and sitting in nature and really taking in a couple of deep cleansing breaths. Our self-care could be spending time with my children. Self-care could be spending time with my husband. Oh, whatever is right for you, but it has to feel something that is like, oh, I love doing that. Because that's your list then, not what you feel that you should be doing. And then what I'd invite you to do is take that list and put it up on the wall somewhere that you're going to see it, so that you don't have to remember to do your self-care. It's something that you're reminded of, it's around you, and it's very easy to kind of be prompted to do that. For my part, to help you with this, over the course of the 6 or 7 weeks, each week you're going to get an email from me, and I'm going to be sharing with you hints and tips, maybe another video, and meditations just to help you, maybe if you want to try them or not. But I've been working in this field probably about 14 years now, going on 14 years, and I've trained in so many things, from mindfulness to meditation to shamanic work to Reiki, life coaching, kinesiology, TAT, TFT. The list goes on, and it's never ending, believe me. I just love learning. But I want to share with you some of the things that I've learned that are so, can be truly transformational. And that's what I'm going to be providing with you, for you, over the course of those of these upcoming weeks. What you do with that is completely up to you. And as I always say, you can unsubscribe anytime, you can subscribe anytime, you can send on to people, you can share. I really love this to reach far and wide. Last year we had people from all over the world signed up to it, so I'm hoping this year like we could even go a little bit further and get more people around the world, because really self-care is so important for everybody, not just for ourselves. We need it for, the men in our life, the grandparents, the grandchildren, and if we could even instill this in children from a young age, it would be a really, really wonderful thing. So that's all I have to say. Oh, except one more thing. If you want, you could start, get yourself a notebook, something like this, and start writing down all those self-care practices in there, or you could use the PDF. And what I've also shared below is a link to Insight Timer, which is a really amazing resource. They have over 12,000 free meditations uploaded there at the moment, and I have 4 on it. I was lucky enough to be published on it, and there are 4 meditations that I have described below, and you could, if one of them appealed to you, you could perhaps listen to it. It's totally up to you. So enjoy your week of self-care, of week 1, and remember, hashtag take care. Thanks, Becky. And I'll see you all next week in your inbox. Have a wonderful week and enjoy your first week of self-care.